says Tariq set me up to get arrested.
Find out what you need to find out. This could be a fucking setup, D.
I want you, they want him. Flip on Tariq.
If she doesn't flip, we lose the case.
They're not gonna stop till they find you.
This is my mess. I'm gonna handle it.
I did come across a photo of the police report. Yeah, that's it.
This could fuck us.
Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Please click on the subscribers button and turn on the notification button also, so when I drop a new video you get notified. Thanks. Power Book 2 Ghost lost a big character in its most recent episode, which probably makes the 2 weeks break on the show a quite warranted. Cooper Sachs, a role Shane Johnson played for a decade, was killed in the episode 8 of season 3. That wasn't all from episode 8 though. Elsewhere, Effie was arrested for attempted murder on Lauren, and Tariq helped set forth a plan for him, Monet and RSJ to get their money back from the Western Holdings Ponzi scheme. In episode 9 of Power Book 2 Go Season 3, titled A Last Gift, everyone has to immediately deal with the aftermath of Cooper Sachs' death and Effie's arrest. Tariq discovers that Sachs knew about Lorenzo's connection to Zeke's death via evidence from a police report.
And Davis McLean is left to prove that he did not influence Theo's decision to kill Sachs while fighting new allegations from Jenny Sullivan. The Tejadas also have to make sure that they do not become collateral damage in the Sachs or Effie mess. But that becomes the least of their worries when Drew, King, and Diana find out that Monet enlisted Gordo to kill Lorenzo in response to him accidentally killing Zeke. This leads to an explosive response from the Tejada children, one that will forever change the relationship they have with their mother. Elsewhere in this episode, Weston Holdings gets exposed for their Ponzi scheme, which leaves Brayden, Kiki, and others at a huge risk of getting in trouble. Reluctantly, Brayden takes care of the issue in a way he hoped he wouldn't have to. Tariq is also visited by an individual from his past, and it's here that he learns that his mother is a grave danger, something that leads to another meeting with an important figure from his past. Here are some of the biggest takeaways that we have after Season 3's 9th episode, A Last Gift. Tariq is tired of saving everyone. There hasn't been a point in Season 3 where Tariq wasn't going out of his way to save someone close to him, whether it be for the drug operation or for personal reasons due to the relationship at hand. He saved the Tejadas and he saved Effie. He saved Brayden and he saved Rashad Tate. Sure, Tariq has been the saved individual a few times, like when Brayden took the fall for him on the witness stand in Season 2, but more times than not it's Tariq with the cape on. In episode 9, Tariq is back to his saving ways. He buys the group more time from Noma when Effie gets arrested, and he talks some sense into Brayden when he's hesitant to handle his uncle Lucas, who is moments away from telling the police about the Weston Holding Ponzi scheme and the drug operation Tariq and Brayden run there. However, when the episode concludes with Tariq rushing to his mother's witness protection home, you can tell Tariq is tired of this constant need to serve and protect the people around him. The attacks are getting tiresome, and he'd love for things to just go right for once, but no, we're left on a massive cliffhanger involving Tariq, his mother, and none other than Tommy Egan. One of the biggest reasons behind Cooper Sachs' downfall, and eventually his death, was his relentless chase of the STT, Patrick's and any of their associates. Sachs ran into the figurative brick wall that cost him his life, and from the looks of it, Jenny Sullivan could be taking the first steps toward a similar fate. Jenny's connection and love for Sachs certainly make her goal of having the St. Patrick's and their associates pay for his death reasonable. But her scorched earth approach will only lead to mistakes and presumably a loss. Yes, to beat Tariq and his crew you have to stay one step ahead of them, which is what Jenny did by using the attempted murder charge she had against Effie to put her behind bars. However, you can't get too ahead of yourself. So through the tears and the extremely confident determination to take them down, Jenny can't get out of character, or she'll find herself in the same position Sachs found himself in for the past 10 seasons. Doing whatever in the pursuit of a win to make up for a resume of losses. Brayden seems to think that he is playing a different game compared to Tariq. Better yet, it seems like he thinks his game is a bit more law-abiding. In episode 9, Brayden has a moment of truth with Tariq where he admits to not wanting to become the person that Tariq is today. The person that was able to kill his father and others in pursuit of his goals. Tariq sees it a lot differently though. He views his actions as necessary to make sure that he and Brayden were always safe and could escape harm's way if they ever found themselves there. Tariq was down to do what was needed, but Brayden has always been a bit hesitant when it was his turn. As he stands there, suit and tied up speaking to Tariq, it seems like it finally dawns on him that this corporate look of his doesn't make him any better than or less like Tariq. Maybe it was this conversation or maybe it wasn't, but in the end, Brayden did what needed to be done for him and Brayden to live to see another free day. Monet never valued the most important part of her regime. Teyata's best quality was the cohesiveness and chemistry between their family, who were all participants in the drug business. It's something that seemingly made them a force to be reckoned with. However, with Monet taking over the reins, especially during Lorenzo's incarceration and especially after his death, it was clear that she never valued that family aspect in terms of its importance towards their drug business. She led like a dictator and often manipulated her kids to do what she wanted and believe what she wanted them to. Unfortunately, Drew, Kane, and Diana are a smart bunch, and it was only a matter of time until they figured out the truth of Lorenzo's death, which is exactly what happened in A Last Gift. We've seen the Teyata children storm away from their parents or storm out of their house multiple times. But this latest occurrence is a lot different. Monet has caused irreversible damage, and it's something that will definitely come back to bite her in the future. Drew, Kane, and Diana are independent and will certainly figure out how to achieve their personal goals on their own if need be. But as for Monet's drug business, it was never built as a solo operation. We'll just have to wait and see how she moves forward with her kids now against her. Tariq was running all over the city, trying to save himself from the Rico, and it was wild watching him jump from one thing to another. But he didn't have a choice, as he could feel the walls closing on him. When Power Book 2 Ghost Season 3 started, it was essentially him, Effie, and Brayden against the world. But once Tariq found out they betrayed him, he really was on his own. And he's been trying to do things on his own now, but he would always need help. The only person Tariq has been able to count on over the last few years was Brayden, and he needed Brayden here, even if their relationship was strained. Even though they made a deal with Lucas, the threat of him knowing about the drug dealings through Weston Holdings was too much to let slide. He needed to go, and Tariq, quite frankly, didn't have the time to do it himself. For a trust fund baby, Brayden has proven over and over again to be a valuable asset when needed. He stepped into some pretty dangerous situations and handled himself, but he's never been able to step in and put a bullet through someone's head with the careless ease with which Tariq and Kane do it. But he's about the life. Right? He can run the drugs and get his hands dirty, but there's always been a limit with Brayden. Brayden made some excellent points about wanting to keep a shred of his humanity intact and not become the kind of person who could callously murder their own father, no matter how bad he was. Brayden never wanted to turn into Tariq, but he should have thought about the first time he decided what direction to take his life in. Killing Lucas was something Tariq was ready to do, but that death was just a pit stop on a long day for Tariq. Tariq was worried about Tasha after listening to Sax's message, but his hands were also tied because he didn't know if Sax was bluffing or if the threat was actually real. It wasn't until Tibet came creeping out of the shadows with another one of those Sax letters that Tariq realized just how serious things were. Leave it to Sax to try to ruin the St. Patrick's one last time from beyond the grave, the family that bested him time and time again. If he was going to die, he wanted to ensure he could bring down a few more people to join him at the cemetery. Tariq was so unmoved by Tubit's appearance. You could see that he was totally worn out. He could barely find it in himself to talk Tubit out of killing him. But Tubit, ever the hustler, was looking for a payday, not outdated revenge. And this Tariq was off on his final mission of the day to ensure his family was safe. Now, bringing the Tommy Egan back was something I didn't see coming here. But it sets an exciting picture for the finale, especially with Tariq knowing that Monet was the one to out Tasha to him. Tommy has never been one to let anything go, and his beef with Tasha runs very deep. Remember Lakeisha? Tommy made that trek from Chicago to kill Tasha once and for all. But he wasn't anticipating another showdown with Tariq. There's too much pain and guilt to mend it. But even with all that pain and distance, it's still Uncle Tommy for Tariq. And it's still love that he feels for him because it's all he's ever known. Though it would not stop him from shooting Tommy right between the eyeballs if he hadn't gotten knocked out first. The only person who reasonably could have knocked him out would have been Tasha. But why? Everything else you need to know: Effie still loves Tariq, and she's not ready to throw him to the wolves. But I'm not sure that will last forever. Sax admitting his feelings for Jenny in that letter had to make her feel terrible, considering their last conversation. But Sax's advice wasn't bad. He spent how much time on the hunt for justice, and look what it got him. Jenny and Blanca have lost to people helping them or their case. Do you think that makes them even slightly nervous? They certainly don't act like it. We're due to see Noma again, and I think she won't be as willing to work with Tariq as Obi was. Speaking of Noma, are they going to revisit her search for Mecca's killer? Tariq was so cold-blooded during this hour. He was over Brayden's complaining and Kane's jealousy. He was tired,